Why do American trucks have such huge hoods? Have you seen their two-room cabins? Why isn't it common in Europe? Don't their long-haul drivers need comfort? Of course not. There are valid reasons for everything. And I will talk about the main differences between American and European trucks and what they are caused by. And in the end, I'll show you a monster with 4,000 horsepower and a price tag of $13 million. Trucks in America. But I would like to start with the history of the trucking profession in America. In the early 20th century, American freight transport relied on steam engines and horse-drawn wagons. Railroads dominated the continent, carrying huge loads across cities and states. And trucks? They were more like exotic vehicles, serving as moving billboards rather than efficient means of delivering goods. Imagine that the average speed on the roads was about 7 to 9 miles per hour. The first company to change the game was Mack. In 1910, they radically changed the technical aspect. Engines became more powerful, transmissions more reliable, and trucks capable of more. World War I became a catalyst for automotive transport. Roy Chapin, one of the founders of the Hudson Motor Company, was convinced that railroad transport could no longer be considered a reliable foundation of the American economy. One explosion on the tracks, and the state's logistics stopped for weeks ahead. He foresaw an era of trucks that could move faster and more efficiently with pneumatic tires. By 1920, the number of trucks in the United States had soared to 1 million. Then came the era of innovation. Diesel engines, classification and standards for trucks, fifth-wheel couplings, all of these took American freight transport to a new level. Each state set its own limits on maximum weight, and roads improved, allowing for development in this direction. In 1933, when Roosevelt outlined the New Deal, transportation companies came together to discuss fair competition rules. Thus, the American Trucking Associations were born. This year also marked the release of the first truck with a sleeper cab from Kenworth, opening a new era for long-haul drivers. Needless to say, this completely changed the game. Trucks in Europe. You might ask, what about Europe? At the dawn of the 20th century, the European air was still filled with the smell of horse sweat and the clatter of hooves on cobblestones. But automotive engineer Durkop opened a new chapter in the history of automotive transport by introducing the world's first truck model. This was followed by the introduction of electric vehicles and the delivery of 1,000 cargo pickups to England by Carl Benz, capable of carrying a load of 550 pounds. But there was no revolution. Despite these innovations, until the 1910s, trucks were still finding their place, competing with horse-drawn wagons and trying to find their unique niche. The trucks that existed then more closely resembled modern vans, passenger cars converted by replacing the rear part with a cargo box. But speed, it left much to be desired, lagging behind horse-drawn wagons, which, coupled with low payload capacity and high fuel consumption, made them unattractive for agriculture and industry. Changes began in the 1920s, when engineers took revolutionary steps. The engine moved to the front, next to which there was room for the driver's seat, transforming the design and increasing efficiency. The emergence of powerful four-cylinder engines from Daimler in 1907 and the subsequent release of models resembling modern hooded vehicles was a real breakthrough. By the 1920s, trucks had not only gained power and reliability, but also specific features such as large bodies, massive chassis, dual rear wheels, and solid rubber tires. As you can see, full-fledged freight transport in Europe and America emerged at the same time. But the vehicles began to differ even then. Why? Differences in dimensions. The first thing you notice when looking at American and European trucks is the huge difference in dimensions. Why is that? In America and Australia, where roads stretch straight for many miles, trucks are used as road trains. Their length is not just a fashion statement, but simply a convenient solution for long distances and spacious loading areas. Away from the hustle and bustle of cities, warehouses are usually located in fairly open spaces, relieving trucks from the need to navigate narrow streets. So why not carry more? Now imagine Europe: compact cities, narrow streets, and the need for maneuverability at every turn. Here, trucks have to be more modest in size to navigate through urban mazes. A long trailer simply cannot make a turn at an intersection without knocking something over nearby. European manufacturers hide the engine under the cabin to fit into this urban landscape. Distances are short. Here, freight transport often takes no more than a couple of days. And you know what's interesting? In America, extending the truck frame not only adds space for driver comfort, but also improves maneuverability. This allows for more flexible trailer control, making turns smoother and more controllable at high speeds. So, you see, the size of the truck is not just a matter of taste. After all, every manufacturer strives to make the most versatile version of the vehicle that fits into various operating conditions. About the engine. So, we've covered the dimensions. Now I want to talk about the differences in the engine compartment, because that's what stands out the most. If Americans were initially designed to carry cargo further and in larger volumes, they need more power, right? Additionally, in America, trucks can accelerate to an impressive 90 miles per hour. Imagine that power on the road! In Europe, however, the upper speed limit for trucks is capped at 60 miles per hour. These speed limits set the tone for the design and construction of the trucks. American trucks, to meet this challenge, are equipped with simple but powerful inline-six engines capable of handling heavy loads over long distances. But there's a slight catch: they have a huge fuel consumption. In Europe, preference is given to more complex V8 engines, which, although smaller in size, are focused on efficiency and eco-friendliness, although this affects power and maintenance costs. American engines simply wouldn't fit under the cabin. European engineers, unwilling to limit themselves, tucked a powerful engine right into the front of the truck. This not only facilitated access to the heart of the machine for servicing and repairs, but also opened up space for innovations in cabin design. Although, to be honest, they had to cram everything into limited space. Safety. And since we've talked about the hood and the cabin, I'd like to mention safety as well. Although European manufacturers like Volvo or Mercedes boast about their driver safety features, long-haul drivers worldwide prefer American trucks in terms of safety. Having a few extra feet of metal in front of you makes you feel much more confident in the event of an accident than when the impact comes directly into the cabin, as with European trucks. You can see the difference for yourself. An American driver has slightly better chances of survival. But what if you get into an accident in America and don't know what to do next? Where to turn for help? Where to find a competent lawyer? How to get compensation if you don't have insurance? The DT America company has helped its clients obtain $21 million in compensation. Here, you will definitely get answers to all your questions. Link in the description. Imagine you are on an endless journey along wide roads where the horizon seems endless. Sounds romantic, doesn't it? For truck drivers covering such distances, every day is more like a marathon, where rest becomes not a luxury, but a basic necessity. That's why American trucks have become something like full-fledged apartments on wheels, offering not only cargo transportation, but also maximum comfort for their drivers. Take, for example, the Mack Anthem 2020. It's not just a means of transportation, it's your own home on wheels, where you have everything you could wish for, except perhaps a bathroom. But who said the road should be devoid of amenities? Modern trucks are equipped in a way that can easily compete with small apartments in terms of comfort and functionality. It might seem like a lot of expense for automotive manufacturers. There's power, there are wheels, so just transport your cargo. But the rest area is not just a way to relax on the road, but also an opportunity to recharge and reactivate, which is critically important for safety on the roads. After all, what could be more important than the safety of the cargo? No built-in system in the truck can substitute for a driver who falls asleep at speed. But I was talking about America. What about Europe? It's different there. European trucks, although efficient, cannot boast the same level of comfort. They are more modest and functional, designed to work in conditions of dense urban traffic and narrow streets. In many of them, comfort is reduced to a shelf at the back and an air seat. Only a few are equipped for a real long-haul transportation. Kenworth T680. But let me show you the flagship trucks, so you can clearly see the difference between American and European vehicles. The Kenworth T680, repeatedly awarded the title of Best Commercial Truck, has become a true icon of American freight transport. This heavy weight combines advanced aerodynamics, innovative technologies, and most importantly, a cabin comparable in comfort to a modern living room. With a cabin width of 6.9 feet and a sleeper berth of 76 inches, the T680 essentially rewrites the rules of the long-haul transportation world. The absence of engine protrusions and other technical elements in the cabin, as well as the reduced angle of the panel underfoot, create conditions for exceptional comfort behind the wheel. The two separate spaces in the cabin, the workspace and the rest area, provide the perfect combination of functionality and coziness. The workspace is equipped with 2 chairs and a huge control panel with a multimedia system, while the rest area impresses with its spaciousness, featuring a wide bed, plenty of storage cabinets for personal items, a mini fridge with a freezer, a microwave, and even a 32-inch LCD TV. A rotating table between the sleeping area and the passenger seat allows for maximum space efficiency. The passage in the cabin is wide enough to move around standing, and the well-thought-out geometry of the chairs with multiple adjustments supports the driver's back on long trips. The Kenworth T680 is not just a truck, but a true home on wheels, created for those who value comfort and quality in every detail. And how does Europe respond to such comfort? Volvo FH16. Volvo FH16, the embodiment of power, comfort, and innovation. This is the top truck available in serial production. With an ambitious 700 horsepower under the hood, this truck not only tops the list of the most powerful in the world, but also sets new standards for the entire industry. Every element in the Volvo FH16 is designed with the driver in mind. The spacious cabin, increased by almost 35 cubic feet compared to previous models, provides enough room for tall drivers to stand freely without stooping. This not only adds convenience on long trips, but also increases safety. It's no wonder that the new FH16 became the sales leader literally within a year. It offers comfortable sleeping arrangements for 1 or 2 people, with access to a multimedia system and independent climate control. The seat reclining at 55 degrees creates ideal conditions for relaxation, reading, or watching TV. And the spacious storage compartments, numerous document holders, cup holders, and adjustable shelves only underscore the thoughtfulness of the design. In the innovative IC system, using GPS to memorize routes, is further evidence that the Volvo FH16 anticipates the driver's desires and needs. The iShift is the most intelligent gearbox in the world, designed specifically for this model, demonstrating Volvo's commitment to driver comfort and fuel economy. In fact, the driver sits like an operator in their seat, controlling all these smart systems. So, choose between sitting in a smart cabin or a spacious apartment, like the Americans. Thor 24. And remember I promised to show the most powerful truck in the world? When the passion for automobiles intertwines with unlimited imagination and wealth, the results can be truly dizzying. The story of Mike Hara and his Thor 24 is a vivid confirmation of this. Investing 7 years of his life and vast resources, he turned his dream into reality, creating not just a truck, but a true legend on wheels. Choosing the 1979 Peterbilt 359 as a starting point, Mike had no intention of limiting himself to its initial specifications. His task was to create the most powerful truck in the world, and one could say he definitely achieved that. Thor 24's 2 hearts are 12 V71 engines from Detroit Diesel, each equipped with 8 turbochargers. Their combined power is 4,000 horsepower, and the chrome engine and suspension parts add aesthetic appeal to this technical marvel. Thor 24 is not just a truck, it's a work of art, capable of reaching speeds up to 100 miles per hour. But what's even more impressive is that it takes 4 brake parachutes to stop it. The truck also features a 4-speed automatic transmission from Allison and a multitude of sensors and gauges, making the cabin resemble that of an aircraft. And instead of a regular gear shift lever, a sword is used here. Why? I didn't understand either, but that's how Mike sees it. Driver comfort hasn't been overlooked either. The cabin has a TV and audio system. But the most insane part of this whole story is that the car was eventually sold. For how much? An Arab sheikh didn't hesitate to spend $13 million to become the owner of this unique creation. This is the most expensive truck not only in America, but also in Europe. As you can understand, most of the differences between American and European trucks are quite objectively driven. And if you enjoyed my segment, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.